Here's how to set a stop loss on Robinhood and the difference between a stop market order and a stop limit order. Now we're going to start by opening up the Robinhood app, and then you're going to go to either a stock or an option contract that you already own. Once you get that open, you're going to tap on trade, and then you're going to tap on sell. Now, if you look in the upper right hand corner, depending on whether you have options or shares, it may look a little bit different, but it works the same. That's where you're going to select the stop loss order type that you want. So first, let me tell you the difference between the two before I actually show you how to set them up. The first option is the stop market order. With the stop market order, you choose one price, and that's the stop price. This is the price where you want Robinhood to trigger your sell order. For example, if a stock is trading at $415 and you set your stop price to $400, Robinhood will trigger a sell order if the stock drops to $400. But the important part is once the stop price is hit, the order becomes a market order. That means Robinhood tried to sell it at the best available price, but you are in no way guaranteed to sell it at exactly $400. So a stop market order is basically saying if the stock drops to this price, go ahead and get me up out of there. Then there's a stop limit order. Now, with a stop limit order, you choose two prices, a stop price, and then you choose your limit price. The stop price is what activates your order, and the limit price is the lowest price you're willing to sell for. An example on that would be, say a stock is trading at $415. You might set the stop price at $400 and your limit price maybe at $399 or something like that. And if the stock drops to $400, Robinhood is going to activate a sell order, but it can only sell it if it can get $399 or better. So the trade-off is if you go with that type of order, it gives you more control over your minimum price, but it also creates a little bit of risk because if the stock drops too fast or skips it below your limit price, you might not get your order filled at all. So a stop limit order is basically saying if the stock drops to this price, try to sell it, but don't sell below my limit price. So let's look at how this actually executes. So we're using Microsoft as an example. So if you already hit trade, hit sell, we're going to hit shares, and then you're going to look for, first we'll look at stop order. We'll click on that. Yours might say stop market order, but I think they all say stop order. And then in our example, we said $400. So where it says stop price, we would just put 400 and hit continue. And then you just want to determine when you want the stop loss to close out. You may want it to be good till cancel, or you may have a specific time in mind. Once you decide that, you're just going to hit continue. Now we'll back out of that, and then we'll go into the stop limit order. Same thing, we'll select our stop price of 400. And remember I said you have to select two prices for this. So we're going to hit continue. And then we'll put in our limit price, and we'll just, this is arbitrary, but we'll just put in $3.99. We'll give it $1 and then continue. And then pretty much the same thing. You'll decide how long you want this order to last. And when you're ready, review it, you hit continue. All right, so let me show you how to do it if you have an options contract. So you're going to open up the contract that you own, and then you're going to hit trade. You're going to hit sell. Then you see the caret in the upper right hand corner. Now we're going to click on that to drop down to select our order type. Now, what I always forget is down at the bottom, they sneak in that time in force before you actually go into either your stop limit order or your stop market. So don't forget that your time in force is down at the bottom, because by default, it does good for the day. And often I want it as good till cancel, and I have to go back out because I forget. But because it's after market hours, you see stop market is grayed out. That's where you would just put in the one price, but we'll do the stop limit because that's where it's a little bit different from shares. All right, so we select the stop limit order you see at the top. The first line is you have one contract. So if you have multiple that you're setting a stop limit for, you can change that number. We'll leave it at 1. And currently the price is $1.77 or $177. Say we want to get out if it drops to $1.50 or $150. That's our stop price. And then to give us just a little bit of leeway in case it falls faster than we would like, we can maybe do $1, I don't know, we'll say 48. So we'll put that in as our limit price, and then we will hit review. And it takes us to that next screen where we can review everything that we have. And then you would swipe up to submit your stop limit order. And basically that's how you set a stop loss for shares or options contracts on Robinhood. And the important thing is to just know the difference between your stop loss market order or your stop loss limit order. Let me know if you have any questions.